The new features. Let me share that because this is really, really exciting and important. Number one, whenever you come into the new routines, and this won't be there until Monday or Tuesday, depending on when I actually push it, but one of these. Number one, whenever you come into the routines, I did add filters in here. So if I just want to see all my contact routines, all my property routines, listing, you can combine them however you want. Basically, just helps adding a filter so you can find things easier. That was one of the things. As I'm getting more of these in here, I'm using the product as well as creating it. So it's like, oh man, I've got so many routines. How do I maintain that? Well, I'm working on property stuff. I just want to see my property routines. Let's go through that. Or I'm just working on my listing routines. Let me go through that. So that's been added. The other thing that we've added is, and let me go over here too, because I've got some set up for contacts. So I've got just a client onboarding item here. So I've added this new piece here called conditions. And whenever something is active, if you've got it active, that basically means if this date field, client onboard date, if it gets filled in and it's active, it's going to automatically run this routine. Okay. If this is off, it won't run it automatically. So if you're building something and you don't want it to be run yet, you just turn it off and you're good. If once it's ready to start processing, you turn it the active on and it's good. But there may be cases where you're using the same date field for different conditions. You might have a listing date and there's processes that you do for maybe a house that's priced under $200,000, and there's things that you do for houses, over 500,000 or something like that. You can now add conditions. So with the conditions, you can say, well, actually this one is for contacts. So maybe I only want this to happen if the status is active. Okay. If I've put something into the client onboarding and it's active, then I want it to run this routine. Okay. So you can now create different routines using the same date field, but they get executed or run automatically differently based off of conditional pieces. So maybe instead of that, I want to say, well, if it's tagged with marketing, then I want to do this process. So whenever you save that, it'll show you what the condition is. So anytime that I go to any particular item here, if it has a condition on it, it will only run this. If it's active, it'll only run it if it meets this condition. So going back to our example with the listing, maybe for the photography, well, maybe, and this is not a good one that I currently have here, maybe I only want to do this if the price is greater than or equal to 400,000. Okay, so the photography process that this one deals with are for $400,000 and above. I might come over here and maybe I want to say, I want to clone this routine. I want to make a copy of it and I want to make some changes to it, but it's going to be for things less than 400,000. And it does just a little bit different. So we're adding the conditions on there to allow you to run routines conditionally based off of different fields. Okay.
So So Pam, one of the questions you had asked was starting a birthday routine on an A contact. This would be something that would allow you to do that pretty easily for all your A contacts. It could be built out.
Correct.
Cool. Okay, because I want to get, that's one I want to get started. So I figured that was really simple.